Once upon a time, there was a year called 2025, and in that year, I watched some new movies. So yeah, I was going to do top 5 movies that came out in 2025. At first, I just wanted to make a video just talking about movies that I saw for the first time in 2025, because I forgot what movies even came out this year. And thus, it was really close that I would talk about Kamikaze Girls, that was a movie that came out in 2004. Simply because that movie is so weird and like has so much sapphic vibes, and I love it. But then I remembered that there were specifically 5 movies that came out in 2025 that I also saw in 2025. So let's do a ranking of that, and then I can make a ranking of movies I saw in general in 2025, no matter when they came out. I just think we should get right into it. Number 5 on my list.
Lady Oscar, Lady Oscar, mit dem Wind der großen Freiheit in den offenen Haaren.
I have made a video about this before, and yeah, my feelings are definitely complicated. So, the Rose of Versailles anime from the 70s was the first work that I saw of Ryoko Ikeda, but it's not my favorite work of hers. My favorite work of hers is Onisama-e. Onisama-e, or Dear Brother, is literally my favorite anime period, despite its flaws. But I do really respect The Rose of Versailles, because the plot is literally about this peak gender OC named Oscar, that is a girl that got raised as a man because her father didn't get any sons. And then she works as a royal guard for Marie Antoinette until she learns about the French Revolution and like switches sides. And it's also a lot about Marie Antoinette and what she's up to, but to be honest, I am more interested in this peak gender OC Oscar. And Europe is too. I mean, it's a reason that in Europe you don't hear the title The Rose of Versailles, you hear the title Lady Oscar, because she is the main character for us. But this movie that came out in 2025 is not it. You can't make a movie about the whole plot of The Rose of Versailles, because you need to cut so much, and the way they sold it in this was to make a bunch of different music videos, but those music videos, like, unless you know the story beforehand, you're gonna be so confused. And that is why I want to say to everyone that if you want to see a movie about The Rose of Versailles, do not watch this version. Watch Lady Oscar, the live-action version that literally came out before the anime. I watched this movie shortly after I watched the movie from 2025, and this movie is a much worse adaptation of the source material, but it's way more fun. Everyone is British except for like a bunch of Austrian and Swedish actors. They all speak English even though they're in France. It's highly entertaining. Please watch that instead of watching this version. And I have said this before, that a lot of people find a lot of like queer vibes in The Rose of Versailles, and I need to tell you that The Rose of Versailles 2025 is like really straight. The 70s anime and the live action film are way gayer than this was. Yeah, I didn't like it. Let's move over to number 4.
Who is he kissing? Wish I knew. Who is he kissing, me or you?
So Freaky Friday is something that like has been in my life like since forever. I first watched the 2003 movie when I was a child, and I thought it was funny. I later also watched the 70s version and also the musical version. And as everyone who has watched the musical version will tell you, the musical version is so bad. And also, the daughter really looks like a butch lesbian, and it just makes me low-key wish that they had a Freaky Friday movie where the daughter is a lesbian and the mother doesn't know, because I feel like that would make for like a big conflict and like the mother discovering something about her daughter that she didn't know before. Can someone make a Freaky Friday movie where the daughter is a lesbian, please? Also, Freaky Friday was very prominent in the show Entrelazados that got cancelled. I found out like half a year after they released the statement, but anyway. In Entrelazados, which is like the DCLA lovers like crossover dream, because the actress that played Angie in Violetta is like the main character's mother. The actress that played Sharon in Soy Luna is her like great grandmother. They're putting up Freaky Friday as a musical in the 90s, but the thing is that it didn't become a musical before like 2016, and it's the musical that the movie from 2018 is based on, and it's such a mess, but yeah. Let's talk about Freakier Friday. That is a sequel of Freaky Friday from 2003. Freakier Friday takes another concept that I have thought about these body switching movies. I have both thought about the idea of a Freaky Friday where the daughter is a lesbian, but I have also thought about the idea, imagine a Freaky Friday where multiple people switch bodies and just not two. And I know that there absolutely exist movies where several people switch bodies. Some people have mentioned one specific movie where like a whole family switch bodies. I can't remember it right now. But this sequel movie is about, well, the mother and the daughter switching bodies with the daughter's daughter and her soon-to-be stepdaughter. So there is 4 people involved now. And honestly, the way they switch bodies is kind of funny, because last time it was these fortune cookies. It's not that anymore. Honestly, they switch bodies completely, like, by mistake, because the person who did it, like, had no intention of actually doing it. Like, she was like, oh my god, did this work? I thought it was incredibly silly, and I laughed out loud several times. The only problem is that it also has a lot of, like, secondhand embarrassment moments, where, like, the daughter in her mom's body like does a bunch of stupid stuff, and it makes me cringe. I watched this movie in theaters, so I had to like hide my face, and I couldn't walk away, so I was like, oh my god, no, I'm stuck here, I have to listen and watch these people make fools out of themselves. But in the end, I thought it was a really, really fun movie. It's not a movie that I would like watch a lot and or watch often, just like the previous Freaky Friday movie. It's a movie that is like fun to watch with your family every now and again, with like some years apart every time you watch it. But all in all, I thought this movie was fun. Let's go to number 3. So, K-pop Demon Hunters was a movie that people were so hyped about. Like, so hyped about. And I kind of didn't get the appeal of it. Like, it looked fine, but I just felt like I didn't want to watch it, you know? I really had no particular reason to. I just didn't want to. But I noticed that people were so hyped about it, especially people online that I chat with. They could very often talk about the movie, and I noticed how excited they were about the movie. And I just felt like I have literally nothing to add, and I am not too interested to talk about the movie anyway. But then one day I was bored, and I was like, okay, let's watch this movie to see what the hype is about. And when I watched the movie, I thought it was fine. It was a fun movie. But I wasn't like so hyped about it that many other people are. And this was kind of why I never told anyone online that I had seen the movie. Simply because I knew that if I did, most likely people would like send me a bunch more asks. People would want to talk about it so much with me because they are so hyped about this movie. But it's just that I literally have not much to say about this movie. It was a good movie, but like I don't have any like thoughts about it. But it's also so fun that so many other people are hyped. And the thing is, I can be like that too with so many things. Like, I can especially be like that with DCLA shows. However, you know, if you're into Stranger Things, you have heard a lot about the general audience and what they think. With K-pop Demon Hunters, I myself am more like the general audience that... Sure, I can talk about it for a bit, but like, then after like 5 minutes I don't have more to say, and I'm not going to be able to really like participate in long discussions about it. For me, I have either not told them that I have watched it, or I have just very briefly said, yeah, I watched the movie, it was fine, but I don't have much to say. So unfortunately, I won't be able to participate so much in like discussions about it. It's really, really fun that you're excited about it, but I just feel, well, I don't feel much at all. I will say though that I rewatched the movies together with my friends not too long ago, and on the second rewatch it was a lot more fun, and I think it was because I watched it with my friends, and I think this movie is one of those movies where like you kind of have to watch it with your friends, especially because one of my friends really, really loves the song Soda Pop, and my other friend really, really hates the song Soda Pop, so he like got mad every time my other friend started to sing Soda Pop, and it was so funny. Because like in the end, K-pop Demon Hunters is a lot about friendships, about found family, and how your best friends are like the ones that you can trust the most. Like, friendship is magic, you know? So watch this movie with your friends. And also, yeah, the music is really good. While my friend hums Soda Pop a lot, I hum Golden a lot because I'm a basic bitch that likes the most popular song from the movie most. But yeah, I like this movie fine, but I don't have much to say, and I know a lot of people do, but I'm going to be boring and say that even though there's a lot of things that I can be excited and make 2-hour videos about and like talk about for hours on end, K-pop Demon Hunters is not one of them. Let's go over to my number 2 on the list of movies that came out in 2025 and I also watched in 2025.
You see it face to face, fantasy and reality don't agree when they're face to face.
So, right off the bat, I liked part 1 a lot more, because I liked the song in part 1 a lot more. But if you know anything about me, you can probably predict what my focus was in this movie. Yeah, I watched this movie with 2 of my friends that really, really, really liked Fiyero and Elphaba together, and I have nothing against Fiyero and Elphaba. I think they're a great couple, but my friends also like disliked Glinda a lot of the time. They thought that Glinda was annoying, and meanwhile, I sat next to them, and I was like, gay witches. Okay, yeah, I get where my friends were coming from when they thought that Glinda was annoying, because she is a little annoying. But she is also a little in the closet, don't you think? Or like, literally, like, I died when she was inside the closet, like canonically in the movie, and she and Elphaba like stood on each sides. Like, they make me go insane, okay? I also like loved a bit about like Dorothy never showing her face. Like, it's not Dorothy's story, Dorothy is like just there. But yeah, musical wise, I like the music from the first movie a lot more. And also I think that the first movie is more rewatchable, simply because I like Glinda and Elphaba being roommates and having fun. But I also did enjoy this movie a lot too, and I think it was a nice ending. And I think that had I been a child, I would have probably been pretty obsessed with both of these movies. Well, are you ready to hear my number 1? This is my top 1 movie that I saw in 2025 that also came out in 2025.
I'm so far away from home. Help, a voice is calling. Welcome
was 12 years old. My two biggest interests were Violetta and also Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I liked Violetta and Five Nights at Freddy's at the same time. I think that's why I became the way I did. Literally, my playlist back then and still to this day are like a mix of
Planeta de las chicas exclusividad. It's been so long since I last have seen a song. I don't wanna give this up, so I'm putting on a show.
I hope you die in the fire.
Si vuelas alto, de colores.
There's a ghost in the machine. Stay calm, stay calm.
Why'd you lock the door? Don't you like us anymore? La diferencia está aquí dentro de mi circuito mental.
You can break down my lights and my doors, but I won't let you back in no more, no more.
Anyway, I, of course, was super excited for the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie. With that movie, absolutely, it was fun, but it also could have been done a lot differently. This movie, however, I, for some reason, felt way more hyped. Is it the greatest movie ever? Of course not. Will you be confused if you don't know FNAF lore? Absolutely. But as someone who knows FNAF lore, I was literally buzzing off my seat all the time. Like, just in the beginning of the movie, when I like hear this. I'm like, yeah! Like, for so long I have had the like theme song to the movie, the la 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 la. I sat with a grin with like everything in the movie. The animatronics on a murder spree. I felt the way I did when I watched Cocaine Bear, which, if you haven't watched Cocaine Bear, it's about a bear that is on cocaine and therefore gets murderous, and you kind of want the bear to win because it's so ridiculous the way, because at the end of the day it's just a bear, and so for some reason you just laugh whenever the bear is attacking people, hoping that it will win. And it's the same thing here. When the animatronics run loose, you hope that they're gonna kill someone. I also am someone that is a bit like sensitive to jump scares, so I sat there like covering my eyes but still with a beam on my face. When Michael showed up and I was like, Michael Afton! When I saw Shadow Bonnie for a second, when Mike was forced to play Five Nights at Freddy's 2 with the mask, and every single animatronic came at him at once and he got overwhelmed, I felt represented when I was like 12 or 13 playing Five Nights at Freddy's 2 on like night 5 and feeling like every single animatronic came towards me. Circus baby! Like, I am already so invested in like the sibling relationship between Vanessa and Michael. Like, who's the oldest? Who's the youngest? Are they twins? But much more importantly, does Elizabeth and Crying Child also exist? Specifically, does Elizabeth exist? I also know someone who is really, really into Vanessa, and every time Vanessa appeared on screen, I thought about that person and thought, that person is probably having the time of their life right now, watching Vanessa on screen, I'm sure. And when the credits came on, and they played It's Been So Long, like, I had a little Chica Funko Pop with me, and when that song came on, I just took my little Chica and started like making it dance. And I like remembered when I was 12 and I heard It's Been So Long for the first time, and I like cried about it because I felt bad about this fictional mom losing her son. I don't know what it was about this movie that made me like feel hyped, because sure, I was hyped for the first movie. I liked seeing the first movie too, but it was something about Final Fantasy 2 that just like, I don't know, it just, something in my brain just went way more apeshit. I haven't been this hyped after seeing a horror movie since I saw It Chapter 1 in theaters back in 2017. What did they put in this movie? Has Charlotte herself possessed me? I don't know. It wasn't the best movie ever, of course not, but I can't stop thinking about it, okay? It has done something with me. So therefore, it is my top 1 film of 2025 that also came out in 2025. And with that, my list is complete. As I mentioned, watched a lot of other movies this year for the very first time. Especially a lot of Studio Ghibli movies, so I feel like I maybe need to make like a Studio Ghibli ranking. And also movies like the live-action Lady Oscar and Kamikaze Girls. And this super niche movie called Gulf Force. Anyway, what movies that came out in 2025 that you also watched in 2025 are your favorites? Do you want to make a ranking? Then do that in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.